Stock of the day, out with news today, is GrainCorp. Its shares bounced about 7% this morning. They have since come back. That's following an announcement of a special dividend of 16 cents a share, final dividend of 14 cents. There you can see the numbers. That's despite earnings coming in lower at 565 million versus 703 last year. Net profit after tax 250 million compared with 380 in FY22. The company posting a return on invested capital of just over 18.5% with the final dividend there, as mentioned. So at the moment, the stock is up. Let's take a look. Well, as I said, was up 7%, now up just over 4%. So the market looking at that stock optimistically. Do our experts look at that in the same way? Shawn, what's your view of GrainCorp?
Haven't really been following it closely. Didn't get the message that we were talking about it this morning.
Right.
I was in transit. Takes a little bit longer to get here than maybe Michael. So looking at the long-term picture of the stock, would be neutral. I'd see no reason to buy that stock or sell it. There's better alternatives out there. Sorry to be so short, but that's how I see it.
Do you factor in, given it's sort of in the ag space, I guess where we've been just as far as we had a dry winter crop, then of course you've got El Nino factoring in now. Is that a consideration for you? I guess more broadly when you look at these ag stocks.
The ag stocks have not been a very good hunting ground for us. A couple of times we put our hand up this year and thought we'd picked a bottom, and it wasn't. So we've had a great rally from elders recently, for example. Time will tell whether that can follow through. We're a bit cautious towards the sector, primarily because it hasn't been a good hunting ground. Again, I use that phrase, we've had better luck elsewhere. We're focusing on what's working for us.
Yep.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah, all right, not a bad way to look at it. Michael, what's your view of GrainCorp?
Yeah, so it looks like with today's announcement, it was above guidance. So we've got a bit of a jump in the share price, of course, because of that. So the winter crop looked to be a bit better than what the market was expecting. So look, that's all great, but that's already happened. So I think the focus will now turn to some of those points you mentioned, which is we're heading into a drier season. So even in the announcement today, they noted that, yeah, it looks like in the northern part of the east coast, we're heading into a drier than normal sort of period, but that's getting offset by a decent situation in sort of the southeastern states. But net result is there is that uncertainty over what the next sort of crop will be like, and margins will be under pressure, as we know. Your typical cost pressures are still there, and the company noted that today. So I think GrainCorp, it might have been an opportunity a few weeks ago when it was trading back under $7, but it's had a little bit of a move up in the past couple of weeks, and then it's jumped today. So I think any advantage in buying the stock's been eliminated, and now it's a fairly neutral proposition. As Shawn mentioned, you've got all those uncertainties. The share price isn't cheap anymore. I think there'd be better opportunities in other part of the market. So, as we've seen, the stock was up about 7% this morning. Now it's only up about 4%. So it seems like the rest of the market is selling into this positive news. And when you've got a broader market that's all the way down at these levels, there'll be other opportunities. So I'd be happy to move on from GrainCorp and look for something else over the next few days.
So I take that as a sell then?
Yeah.
All right. So Shawn, just to clarify then, would you be holding that, or you would look elsewhere as well?
If I had it today, I would sell into the strength and go elsewhere.
Yeah, right.
Otherwise, I call it a neutral.
Yep. Okay. All right. That is